Hello and welcome to iskipper.net. This is lesson 8 and that is tacking. Tacking effectively is turning your boat around with the bow passing through the eye of the wind. So what we've got is the wind is blowing down the board this way, and then this boat is going along and the front of the boat is turning towards the wind, and potentially it could go up on a close hold or right round onto another beam reach. And this boat also on the opposite tack, if you like, is also turning towards the wind. So don't think of it like left or right, because that changes depending which direction you're travelling in relation to the wind. You've got to turn the bow of the boat towards the wind in a tack. So when you're tacking, there's a couple of calls you need to learn. The first one is when the helmsman decides he wants to do a tack, he will shout ready about, and this is where the helmsman's now looking over his shoulder where he's going to turn, just to make sure there's no hazards or any other boats in the way. And then the person on the leeward winch will take the sheet out of the self-tail and hold on tight without releasing any of the pressure on it, but holding on tight. And then the person on the windward winch will load up the winch with possibly 3 turns, ready to just pull in when the sail's coming across the boat. Once you're ready on your winch, depending what side of the boat you're on, it's sometimes good to shout ready on starboard or ready on port. And then the helmsman knows that everyone's ready on the boat. The helmsman will steer towards the wind. So the boat's going round, and just as the genoa's just about to flap, he will shout lee-ho, and this is where the person on the leeward side of the boat, the original leeward side, will spin the line off the winch. The genoa will start to flap as we're crossing through the no-go zone, and the person on the opposite side will be pulling in the sheet. Not too quick to pull the sail across, just pulling in the slack as the sail's coming across, and that will stop the turn stalling.
So here we have a yacht coming up. Looks like they're on kind of a close reach, close hauled sort of point of sail. So the wind's coming from behind the camera, and that's the front of the boat turning towards the wind. Genoa flapping across the boat and pulled in tight, and they're sailing off on the other close reach. So a slightly different view this time. I'm going to wait for the helmsman to call ready about. So there's ready about, releasing that winch there, pulling in on the windward winch. Boat's now powered up and sail straight out the tack. So view from the bow this time. Helmsman's just called ready about. That's the windward winch getting loaded up with 3 turns. The leeward winch just out of view, but that's just out the self-tailer and ready to release. There's the boat starting to go. He shouts lee-ho, so one winch is released, the other winch is getting pulled in. Then we've got 2 more turns, tuck around the winch and into the self-tailer. Good tug to hold it into the self-tailer. Now this chap's going for his winch handle, and because he's close, he wants the sails in nice and tight, so he's grinding that head sail nice and quick as the boat accelerates out the turn. Then a view from the helm. So he's called ready about. Winches are ready to go. Helmsman's steering towards the wind now, nice and slowly, keeping the power up. That's him shouting lee-ho, release the sail, pulling in on the other side. This is the view of the winch. This is the leeward winch, so it's out the self-tailer and ready to be released. So we're looking for like a corkscrew action off the top of the winch to get the line off there nice and quick. There's the boat turning. There's the lee-ho, so flicking it off the winch, keeping the fingers clear of the winch, and job done. Now this is the windward winch. So there's ready about's been called. It's going to take 3 turns clockwise round the winch, ready to pull the sail in as it flaps across the boat. The boat's turning now. So the sail's flapping across the bow of the boat, pulling in the slack. And when you can't pull anymore, you need to wind 2 more turns round there. This isn't great technique here. What I would do is have a look at the winch lesson and have the correct way of loading up the winch. But, we're into the self-tailer. So the rope's held fast now. So we're getting the winch handle out just to grind that sail nice and tight because we're still sailing upwind.